The United Nations says around 360,000 people have already fled Ukraine, with more than 4.5 million expected to leave if fighting spreads to further cities.
Well, for those people inside Ukraine seeking shelter, some have been forced underground where conditions are poor. Let's speak to the founder and CEO of Voices of Children. That's Lena Rozvadovska. Lena, good morning to you. Lena, so much on your mind, so much to do, and you are a voice for those children. What are you trying to say for them on their behalf?
The most important, what we are trying to say is that it's very unfair that children have to go through now in the 21st century, in the center of Europe, have to go through all this situation to stay in the bomb shelter. On this morning, 16 kids been already killed, died because of this Russian aggression. For this from Thursday, for this 5 already days. And a lot of kids will been injured, and it's very dangerous to stay for them in the big cities, in city center, in Kiev, in cities around, in eastern part, in the center, in the south of the country. So some of them with their families are staying in the road for 3 days, sleeping in the cars because the roads are blocked because of so many refugees go out from a big city, from city with a millions population. So this is so unfair, and we are trying now. I'm sorry. We are non-stop working for the last 5 days, like 24 hours around the clock, just to deliver. I don't know, as the minimum. Accommodation, to help with the transfer. A lot of our families and kids with whom we are working for the last 6 years in the eastern Ukraine, because the war started in 2014. Russian aggression was a long time ago. So we've been working with the kids on the eastern Ukraine, where the front line for the last 7 years. Most of these families and kids are now blocked there. They cannot go out because there is no trains, no any connection, and it's very even danger to move, because there was a situation when the family wants to leave on their own car and they've been killed. So I don't know what to say else. It's really terrible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know who isn't moved by hearing about the plight of children in this kind of situation. I mean, our papers here are full of stories, a baby being born in the subway in Kiev over the weekend, children saying goodbye to their parents.
That we're seeing here. Yeah. These are scenes from World War II. The parents and fathers who are not allowed to leave, they have to stay behind to fight. And this man saying, be brave for your mother.
Yeah. And now we receive a lot of requests for psychological helps. Yesterday, our psychologist was on the mobile phone with the children who are staying on the ground in the metro on bulk shelter, and because a lot of people with a panic attack, and the kids, and also those people who remember 2014-15, very aggressive hostage, and they've been moved to Kiev, and they thought that they are now in a peaceful. And anyway, it was peaceful. Now it's like the second trauma, it's like the second re-traumatization, and thousands of people really don't know what to say to their children, and where to find a safety place, because here, even now, I'm on Western Ukraine. It's like 1,000 kilometers from Russian border, and it's near the Poland border. Even here, we had attack on the objects with soldiers. But anyway, people also hear this siren, and it's also nobody knows whether it's even safety here near the Poland border. And a lot of refugees try to reach the country, tried to reach the border to Poland, to Romania, to Hungary, and it's really hard to make it for 2-3 days doing this road.
Well, while we're speaking to you, Lena, we're looking at live pictures coming to us from Ukraine. We can see how harsh the conditions are. Of course, it is the middle of winter. And you can see you're having problems with your camera there. But look, you know, this is traumatic for adults, let alone for children. And it will be trauma that troubles them for life, most likely, as you described, you know, seeing fathers forcibly taken away from them to be conscripted, being bundled in long queues, some people being in the crush on borders, all of these things, or being trapped, as you describe, in areas of conflict. How can people help if they're moved by what you're saying this morning?
A lot of people are really making donations to our foundation, and we will spend all these donations for buying food, supplies, and providing psychological support. The most important for us, even now, for example, we have a lot of requests in Kiev and Kharkiv, in the big cities where big hospitals, for any supplies for hospital, for any food for kids who are still staying in the kids' hospitals. And the biggest problem now is to deliver to there, because there is one way only from Kharkiv, but not in Kharkiv. Nobody wants to go. And we are really seeking a lot among the country for these brave people who can really drive to in another way, not how can we help? I think it's a situation not of one day situation. It's gonna, a lot of people just lost their apartment, the places to live, so we will need this help for a long time. So I hope if people from abroad want to bring some stuff for refugees just near the border, it can be a help. And if they want to make a donation for Ukrainian foundations or I don't know families, it also can be a decision.
Fantastic. Listen, Lena Rozvadovska from the Voices of Children, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Lena's charity there. I mean, can you imagine putting your two children, William and Poppy, on a train? And, well, you would probably be with them if you could, but being separated from your husband.
No, we've talked about it over the weekend. It's absolutely heartbreaking in Europe in 2022 that people are having to do this. The scenes, as you say, I mean, you just put that image of a father and son being separated. You put that in black and white and it could be straight out of a movie from 1940 or wherever. Absolutely terrible. And that's not to mention all the things about their education. I mean, when no one's even thinking about when they're next going to be in a classroom. These children, not only have their lives been turned upside down, but their education's been put on pause. And that in itself is just so unfair on them.
I just wonder, you know, how Mr. Putin, or Mad Vlad, as he's called, front page of the Sun today, how he responds to pictures like that and all happening as a consequence of his actions.